Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all my wonderful and beautiful little lovelies out there. And how I love you all so, and I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper wonderful, and super duper delicious. And that life is treating you most deliciously. So what's the time, Mr. Walsh? It's 25 to 12 in the morning, my delicious babies, on this beautiful and sunny 19th of August 2026, my delicious babies, okay? The sun is shining, weather is sweet, yeah. Right, okay, my delicious babies, and I hope that wherever you are in the world, that life is treating you most deliciously, okay? Now then, my delicious babies, I only have one video today, okay? Right, but the point is, there's all different videos as well, my delicious babies. Now, what I thought was very interesting, because you've got the younger generation who are talking to, what's his name? This is the upload of my delicious babies. Just let me tell you, please and thank you. Capital M Montgomery. What a flipping name in itself, Montgomery. Okay, I'll spell it for you. Montomery. Okay, space, capital T, Toms. Toms. Okay, my delicious babies. Told you there's a lot of Toms, didn't I? My delicious babies, there's a lot of Toms, isn't there? You know, you would have heard me say in another one of my videos, wouldn't you, my delicious babies? Yes. 22.5 thousand subscribers. This video is just over 23 minutes long, my delicious babies, and the video should read: if India is so great, why are Indians migrating to Britain? Well, for a start off, my delicious babies, whoever named us Britain, we're not Britain. Okay, my delicious babies, it's like when they say UK. Well, we're not the UK either. Okay, but this is what has, there we are, this is what has happened in history. Okay, my delicious babies, you and me got a whole lot of history, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Okay, we could be the greatest thing that the world has ever seen. You and me got a whole lot of history, yeah. Do you know what I mean? So we're not Britain and we're not UK. But of course, that is what somebody or some bodies have named us, very sadly. Okay, my delicious babies. I prefer England myself, okay? But then there is question where some would even say, who have done a hell of a lot of research, my delicious babies, that we can even go further back before England. Okay, my delicious babies, which I've known, there we are, for whatever o'clock. Okay, my delicious babies, but yeah, it just pees me off when I see Britain, British, you know what I mean? We're English. Okay, my delicious babies, simple thing, we're English. Okay. Okay, regardless of what ones want to say, we can say, oh, you know, so and so is an Anglo-Saxon, so and so. Anyway, the fact of the matter is, we're English. Okay, my delicious babies. Well, I am. Okay, and I'm in England. Okay, my delicious babies. Now then, so I'll just repeat this once again for you, because there's a point to everything that I do, my delicious babies. If India is so great, why are Indians mass migrating to Britain? Well, yeah, to England, my delicious babies. So that's the only video for today. So we're going to close our book because we need to go backwards, don't we, my delicious babies? Yes. Now then, let's discuss. So you got the younger generation who are talking to, but on this one, I think you got William. Now, sometimes you'll see him on our lovely, with anybody not in that way, our lovely UK column. I've seen William on our lovely UK column before, my delicious babies. So you can go on to UK space column, please and thank you. Should anybody happen to have any form of an interest, it is their 20-year anniversary coming up soon. Oh, bless you all, dear UK column. And it was lovely yesterday because I was listening to a conversation. It was lovely to see our lovely Diana. You know, not in that way, not in that way. We don't see very much of her these days, but it's lovely to see our lovely Diana, okay? But it's lovely just to listen to UK column anyway. I just think they're all fan dabby dozy, you know what I mean, my delicious Babies. So they're going to be having their 20-year anniversary. How beautiful is that, Mads and Babies? Anyway, you know, to get to a point like our lovely, not in that way, our lovely David Ark, you know, 36 years, you know, to get to that point is a marvellous thing to do, isn't it, Mads and Babies? That's the way that I see it anyway, because as our lovely David Icke and our lovely UK column, you know, they've seen ones come and go, you know what I mean? It's like New Street Station or the number 11 bus, you know what I mean? When one goes, another one comes, you know what I mean, Mads and Babies, yes. So getting back to the matter in hand, so, and there's other videos to please and thank you, take a look at. They're all recent ones where you got the younger generations who are asking questions to Montgomery and then to William. So on this one, it's William and Montgomery, okay? And they're very interesting questions, okay? I watched another one, was it yesterday? There was a young graduate, he got his master's. He'd applied, Mads Lishlik Babies, for what did he say? 3,000, that's not coding. 3,000 jobs, Mads Lishlik Babies. So he's graduated, bless. Okay, well, we've seen this over the decades, Mads Lishlik Babies. And then when they come out, they've still got all of that ka-ching, you know, to pay back. Okay, Mads Lishlik Babies, to get an education. And then they cannot get a job. You know what I mean, Mads Lishlik Babies? So I got where your young man, not in that way, was coming from. But this has been going on for decades. I knew somebody else, I'm going back years ago now, and somebody's beautiful dear daughter, well, she'd graduated, but it took her ages, Mads Lishlik Babies, to get a job. Well, it shouldn't be that way, should it? You know, because, you know, you've had a loan unless you got some families who can afford, you know, to pay it straight off, you know, to pay for the education. But, you know, for most, they have to pay it all back themselves. Well, how can they pay it back if they've got no ka-ching? Hello, doom, doom, dong, dong. I'm not saying that to you, Mads Lishlik Babies, but I would have thought it was, there we are, damn well common sense. But that poor young man, I hope that he gets a job, bless him. I really hope he gets a job. You know, and with others, but I thought that the questions were really, really interesting. My only worry is that I hope he doesn't get, because we've seen this before over the years, Mads Lishlik Babies, and over the decades, they can start out meaning well, bless them, you know, wanting to do the right thing, asking all the correct questions, because they're questioning. And ding, ding, dong, dong, that's the thing to do, to question, yes? But then once they're netted in, as I call it, once they're in the net, okay, Mads Lishlik Babies, it starts to change, because one's changes, they change the one's personalities. We've seen it so many times. There we are, Mads Lishlik Babies. You see what I'm saying? Yes? Anyway, so really good video to listen to, but it's true. And it's not just about India. It's not just about, it's about all different topics, subjects, Mads Lishlik Babies, and it's well worth a little listen, okay? I'm not advertising, I mean, and some of the questions as well, Mads Lishlik Babies, okay? If you hear the answers from that your man there, then Montgomery, okay, Mads Lishlik Babies, well, considering they're supposed to be, I don't know, or part of whatever party, we're having a party, you know what I mean? Even though that they're part of that. Well, the fact of the matter is, Mads Lishlik Babies, well, they're done telling you. It's done telling you. You know what I mean? So, in my way, there we are, I'm exposing the shit as well. There we are. You know what I mean, Mads Lishlik Babies? But it's very interesting. He talks about Montgomery on the other video where he's talking to that young graduate, you know, that he's been homeless in his lifetime. Well, I've been homeless, Mads Lishlik Babies, there we are. I've been homeless a few times, there we are, in my life. You know what I mean, Mads Lishlik Babies? So I know all about that. You know what I mean? So there's nothing new there. But it's his answers that he gives. You can just, it's like they're cold, there we are, they're very cold. You know what I mean? Now, when you listen to William, I enjoy, not in that way, I enjoy listening to William, actually, okay? Because, there we are, he's more real. Do you know what I mean? Martylistic babies, and there we are. What you see of him is what you get. But that Montgomery, well, I don't know what flipping planet he's on. Okay, martylistic babies, but he's not the only one to be bloody well homeless in his life, you know what I mean? Because there's been thousands, and look at all the beautiful dear homeless on the streets, and they're beautiful dear little babies who we call our sons and daughters. They're on the streets. But all he keeps saying is, oh, one's got to work harder. You know what I mean? But he's part of there we are, he's part of the fold. You know what I mean? Martylistic babies. So we know what the crack is, isn't it? Okay? So I'm exposing, there we are, at the same time, so that ones, there we are, can see. Okay? So that if ones do decide to, let's just say vote or whatever they want to do, this is what they're voting for. Okay, martylistic babies, but I'm also talking about, which I find very interesting, the younger generation. Now, some of the younger generation, you'll probably see them in 5-10 year time, and they haven't been swayed, they haven't been netted, you know what I mean? But you'll have the others where they start out, doing the right thing, the good thing, yes, and then once they're netted, very sadly, that's that. That's why ones need to go back. Sorry, excuse me, you know what I mean? Martylistic babies. Now then, finally, okay, what I want to talk about is yesterday evening, I went back to, when I was 36, okay, martylistic babies, something was making me noddle. Go back to when I was 36. Well, for myself, that's 16 years ago, nearly 17 years ago now. And I look back and I thought, you know what? That was an all right time in my life at 36. But something just took me back. Anyway, martylistic babies, so maybe for yourselves, where was you or what were you doing when you were 36? And by the way, that's not coding because it comes to now. You know what I mean? Martylistic babies, because they use all different numbers, 369, okay? Lots of different numbers they like. They're a liking. You know what I mean? Martylistic babies. Anyway, the other thing I'd like you to do, I couldn't remember yesterday, it was 4 points. Hold on a second, I've got to get this correct. 4.25 million subscribers, and it is on YouTube, Martylistic Babies, Rita, R-R-T-A, space, Aura, O-R-A. Now, there's a song, Martylistic Babies, and you have to look at the year. Please and thank you, should anybody happen to have any form of an interest, but importantly, to look at the video behind it. Now, I do remember years ago mentioning this woman, okay, Martylistic Babies. I personally happen to like the song, but I'm wanting you to see the video, there we are, itself. Okay, Martylistic Babies, that is what I'm wanting you to see. So they do all these things then, Martylistic Babies, but it's a really good song, anywhere with you. Do you know what I mean? It's a really lovely song, but you have to listen to the words as well. Okay, Martylistic Babies. So that's what I'm doing there. And if you look at the situation that we're all in at the moment, where you gotta row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Do you know what I mean? So we're all rowing, aren't we, Martylistic Babies? You know what I mean? Because we need to get from A, we need to get to B. You know what I mean? Because these are trying to stop us, there we are, from doing so. Okay, Martylistic Babies. Now then, finally, we have got our lovely David Icke, and he was on our dear, oh bless him, not in that way, Sean space Atwood. So it's capital S, then a space, capital A, Atwood, double T. Okay, Martylistic Babies. And they're still actually at 1.12 million subscribers, Martylistic Babies. It was a really banging conversation yesterday. You can also go on our lovely davidicke.com. Okay, Martylistic Babies, if you want to find the videos, and you can also join for a small bit of ka-ching change, and and then if you want to extend it, I think it's $1.99 a month, and then if you want to extend it so you can get the full videos, with dear David's lovely dear sons and their lovely dear friend, not in that way, then you can do that as well. Okay, UK column as well, they also have a donation, so you can donate if you wish to donate. Okay, Martylistic Babies. Now then, But the point of the matter is, came out, I forgot what I've been saying now. What was I just saying? I've gone completely. That's it, okay? It was a really banging conversation, Martin Lichtenberg babies, between our lovely David Icke and our lovely, not in that way, our lovely Guy Anderson, okay? It was nearly 2 hours long, 2 hour long, Martin Lichtenberg babies, but what a banging video it was. I just love listening to all of these types of videos. So thank you, Sean Atwood and Ron and run, run. I just love listening to, not in that way, of course. But I love listening to all these types of videos. Do you know what I mean? Okay? Because we're in a world, Mads Lichtenberg babies, just before I go, then I'm over and out. We're in a world, Mads Lichtenberg babies, where we have got, even though you got more ones who are waking up and everything like this now then, but very sadly, we still got, very sadly, some mothers do have them. And, well, the fact of the matter is, I can clearly see that we're not going to get very far that way, okay? So this is why, for our lovely David Icke, lovely Guy Anderson, lovely Sean Atwood, like I say, not in that way with anybody, lovely Ron, okay? At the end of the day, they're getting information out. And lovely Gareth, Jamie and Richard, okay? Not in that way. And everybody's getting it out. Our lovely Maxigan. So I'll spell it for you, Maxigan, Maxigan, okay? You can find him, 3 words together. I always put his little writing, The Crow House. Okay, so it's all together, no spaces, and then Space Odyssey. Okay, Mads Lichtenberg, you can find our lovely not in that way, Maxigan there. Okay, then we've got our lovely Mornings with Mal K. Okay, so we've got to have our lovely little Mal and her dear husband Rob, not in that way. Okay, I love listening to all the videos. Okay. Because these are ones, and they do research, and do you understand what I mean? Okay, they do not talk flipping damn nonsense. But we've got so many Mads Lichtenberg babies where, very sadly, they talk a crock of shart, and they seem to have these colossal effing flipping subscribers. And they're talking a load of shit, man. There we are. Do you know what I mean, Mads Lichtenberg babies, okay? So, yeah, and and there's the latest as well, bless her, what's her name? Not in that way, Hayden, who's very sadly passed away. I personally didn't really know a lot about this dear woman. If this is what has happened, well, it's just very sad. But of course, we've heard all of these things now then over the decades, these putrid, especially these bloody damn celebrities, okay, that one's worship to the heart, just to find that they do the most vile, putrid and vulgar things now then, okay, and one still worship, okay? And of course they do their best, so that the information doesn't get out. And this is what we're dealing with. But it looks to myself that the ones who are going to be able to get us all through this bloody damn well flipping mess, okay, are going to be the likes of our lovely David Icke, his lovely dear son, their lovely dear friend, and then we've got the likes of our lovely Mornings with Mal K, we've got the our lovely Maxigan, we've got, there's so many. You've got Stu Peters, all spaces, Stu Peters Network, Rumble as well, Mads Lichtenberg babies, okay? And if you want to find little Mal, she's, you can go to her own website, or it's Mornings with Mal K, Rumble, all spaces, okay, Mads Lichtenberg babies. But it appears to myself that you've got these names, the larger names, okay, Mads Lichtenberg babies, who are going to get us out of this damn mess. Then you have Sean Atwood, bless him, I've listened to videos a long time, okay, Mads Lichtenberg babies, I just like to advertise, you know what I mean? But, then they get ones on, to expose, what is going on, Mads Lichtenberg babies, you know what I mean? Because it's putrid, it's damn well rank and disgusting. You know what I mean, Mads Lichtenberg babies? And really ones, there we are, should know about this, but believe it or not, you could talk to somebody about something. Could be any topic or any subject, Mads Lichtenberg babies, and you know what? They just don't want to hear, isn't it? What do we call it in Jamaican terms? Stick brook in your ear. Well, that's very true, because if stick brook in your ear and you do not take heed, you're going to get what the duck give you, isn't it? There we are, simple thing. You see what I mean, okay? So it's all right to walk around like you're flipping half asleep, okay? But that's not helping the situation. Do you know what I mean, my delicious babies? And this is why I do the advertising I do, there we are, which I do it as a hobby, genuinely. And I enjoy my hobby. Sometimes it's a bit tiring, like I've said. So I'm not going to say it's not tiring, because it is, okay? Especially when you're looking through different videos and what I'm going to choose and what I'm not going to choose, okay? But that video that I've that uploaded there will only be a one-off, but I'm wanting you to see, there we are, I'm wanting, please and thank you, for you to see what I'm getting at. You know what I mean, my delicious babies? Then you can hear it. They're just on a completely different level to what we are. So they do not live in the real world. They try to make themselves like they live in our world, but they do not, my delicious babies, you know what I mean? And this is a major, there we are, major problem that we have. Okay, my delicious babies, we've got lots of problems anyway in all our countries, but we personally have not caused this. We know who's caused it, and they're supposed to be running the flip. It's more like a flipping circus than it is a flipping trying to run a country. They couldn't run a bloody piss up in a brewery, do you know what I mean, my delicious babies? Yes. And anyway, that's all I want to say. And very lastly, I was told yesterday, my delicious babies, I wish I could have met this dear lady. There used to be a dear lady, bless her. We do not know if she's still alive, you know, but if she's not, well, may she, you know, rest in peace, you know what I mean? Superb. She was 100, and she was a healer. And from the morning till night, there were queues to go and see her, my delicious babies. I was told about her yesterday, but I hope, you know, she's not allowed, that bless her beautiful dear little soul, that she's resting in peace, because she would have helped, well, run into hundreds, thousands, you know what I mean, my delicious babies. So anyway, I mean, I did a healing yesterday. Okay, my delicious little babies with you know, and the daughter came in the room as well. You know, because her dear dad has had a problem, and then he was bloody misdiagnosed. And then he's had a problem. So I did the healing yesterday, and he felt, there we are, so much better, because up until that point he was struggling to walk. And you're talking about a beautiful dear family where they're all fit. They all, this is nothing against anybody who carries any weight. Well, I'm not flipping slim myself, my delicious babies, you know what I mean? So I do not mean it that way. But they watch the weight, okay? They, you know, they do not eat a lot of, you know, sugary foods or anything like this. They're just very healthy, okay? And this beautiful dear lady, a beautiful dear Papa Bear and a beautiful dear Mama Bear, but he's found himself out of action for a week. And then a most beautiful, dear, sweet family, there we are, you could ever wish to meet, okay? So he could hardly walk, bless him, but once I'd done the healing, you know, his beautiful little daughter, bless her, she said, you know, she said, I'm drifting off, you know what I mean? Because it's just so peaceful. And anyway, but when he managed to sit up and everything, he just, it was like this, you know, because he could walk far better than hardly been able to walk all week. You know what I mean? My delicious babies. So, but I said my prayers, I did, you know. I said my prayers that my beautiful dear little angels, because they just use me as a vessel, my delicious babies. It's not myself. I mean, I know it looks like I do, but they work through myself. Do you know what I mean? Okay. And I'm so very thankful for that. There we are. I'm so very, very, very thankful, because I do not like to see anybody in pain, my delicious babies, and because they're such the most beautiful family, I don't charge them a penny. And a beautiful, dear, sweet little daughter, bless her, not in that way with any of them. They're just so beautiful. Turned around and said, you know, well, you time. I said, no, I said, you know, I said, no. I said, I'll do it for free. I said, you're just such a beautiful family. Do you know what I mean? Because I mean, if they want to give a you know, little donation or something, you know what I mean, then that'd be fine. But I didn't want it. I just wanted, there we are, to get her dear dad better. You know what I mean? And then, not far from where I live, mad delicious babes, I'm just going to quickly tell you this. This beautiful, dear little Muslim family's moved in, and they've got two beautiful, not in that way, clearly, beautiful little babies now then. And the dear husband, okay, well, oh, bless him, he's got MS, multiple sclerosis, mad delicious, but bless him. Some days you see, and he can hardly walk. And that was 6 years ago. Mad delicious babies, yes. Poor dear man. And the poor dear wife, they're only young, just a young, beautiful Muslim couple and their beautiful little babies now. But he's on these crutches and that, well, that's a really young age. Mind you, there's another lovely dear young woman, not in that way, who I knew. I did her healing as well. She couldn't bend a leg, and then when I done the healing, she lifted her leg right up. You know what I mean? Mad delicious babies, so, and she's only very young herself with a baby. I haven't seen her for a while. I hope she's all right. But that's all I wanted to say, mad delicious babies. But how wonderful is that to get to the age of 100 and imagine everybody who she helped? Isn't that just so beautiful, mad delicious babies? Anyway, so that's my video. So whether it's morning, afternoon or evening, please have a super duper delicious time. You only get one life, my little honey bunnies. Sending peace, love, harmony and bright blessings to each and every one of you. May your beautiful little selves and your beautiful little families, may you all be fully protected, and how I love you so. You're super duper wonderful, super duper delish, and I love you. Yeah, I hope that you can get that help. I hope that dear young woman who I know, hope that she's can get the help as well, you know what I mean? Or just do not allow to see anybody in pain, you know what I mean? Anyway, my delicious little babies, so until my next video, so very much love. You just look after now. Take care. Thank you for any views, for any likes, for the occasional comments, and how I love you also. Please take a look at these different videos, please, and thank you, should anybody happen to have any form of an interest, you know what I mean? Because you do learn a lot as well, my delicious little babies, okay? Take care. Thank you. Goodbye.